volume, wake the crowd. F'nAround, stop the day. Rats and raves, we got something to say.
Welcome back to F'nAround in the morning, streaming everywhere and available wherever you want. I'm your co-host, Joe.
What's good, everybody? It's JJ, and I'm back.
Oh, I know. You're just going to keep getting sick and getting back, but this time it wasn't your fault.
I'm doing it on purpose, though, because you told me everybody likes my voice, so
they do like the voice. But this week, the delays were my fault, right?
Dude, we need to get to that. Can we kind of catch up a little bit on how Bella's doing?
Yeah, so I'll kind of give you kind of play-by-play. So it was kind of weird. So I did see some drops of blood. Was it like maybe Monday morning, right? Let's just say, Monday morning I saw some drops of blood, but it wasn't from her. It was just out and about when we were walking. You know, I didn't think anything of it. I just thought an animal was her. Just little tiny drops here or there because I know my paths. Then Tuesday I get up and I'm walking her. I didn't even make it a block. She was playing around in some bushes, right? And then we get to the corner, like not even a block, meaning I just made it to Taylor. And I see some blood on her paws, and I'm like, what the fuck? I thought she cut her paws in the bush. So I'm like, fuck this, we're going home. No massive miles, right? Mm-hmm. So we go right back home. I throw her in the shower. I give her a bath. I pull out the shampoo, bathe her down because that's what a good pet owner does. If you got blood on them, you look for, I couldn't find any scratches, nothing. All good. So I shower, I get her all cleaned up. I'm still in my workout gear, right? So I'm still layered the fuck up after I showered her because her fucking getting cleaned and looking for a cut was more important. So I get back, I get her back out. I'm standing there, I'm looking at her, and all of a sudden the blood was on the paws again. I'm like, no, I just fucking did this. What the hell is going on? So then she sneezes and blood everywhere. And then she keeps sneezing and she's shaking and blood is everywhere. So I go into panic and I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to get her to the emergency. So I bring her over to Veg. It's called Veg. And it's like a veterinary emergency.
Is that that one in Greektown? Is that one right there in Greektown?
No, they're over in the South Loop.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Veteran Emergency Group.
Nice.
So I brought her over there. We get her in. We check her down. She's gushing blood. She's in the car. She's outside. She's the stairwell. Bleeding everywhere, just nonstop, all over their place. They put her in a room. They ran all the tests. Her bloods were good. Everything was healthy. They can't figure out what it is. So they're like, you know what? It's a couple options, right? Either she's got something stuck up there, but she's in no pain, no nothing, and she's acting like everything's fine. So we don't think so. Maybe she kind of popped something in there, scratched something. Maybe she sniffs, like maybe she got salt and scratched up, and she goes. And then worst case scenario, there's always that opportunity of like a mass or a cancer, but let's not
or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's not go that route. So they got me a bunch of medicine for her. Took some of I think it's epinephrine type thing, shot it up her nose, put some salt in her nose, to calm her down. And they sent her home with me. And they're like, let's watch it for a week or two. It should stop. The medicine's like blood clotting medicine. So it should stop the clotting. Everything should be fine. There shouldn't be any more extreme bleeding. You're all good, right? I'm like, really? No. Yeah, you should be completely fine. I'm like, perfect. So then yesterday, we were talking about doing not yesterday, but the day before. So then Tuesday, I'm like, okay, what's going on? What's figuring it out? So I'm about to walk her and everything, right? And I'm walking her right around lunch, get everything set up because we were talking about doing something in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I take her a couple steps outside and pouring blood again, like gushing, like 10 times worse than the day before. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I bring her back to the vet group. They look at her and they go, okay, unlike yesterday, her gums are now getting pale. She's not looking good. You have to get her to a pet ER right away. So so I ran her over to MedVet. It's called. It's over there. It's like by Belmont in California. So I run her over to MedVet. I get her in there. They're checking her. They're running tests. They're looking into her, and they're like, just like good thing you did all the tests and all that. We don't have to run that. They're looking at the results. Like we think it's a mass. So we got to go in there and check, right? We're like, oh, really? And they're like, yeah, you're going to have to go in there and check. So they're like, but we're booked out a couple weeks. I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah. So the only way to do it is if you let her stay here, we can check her in internal medicine right now, forced to go through. So discuss it out, go through it. And finally I agree. Okay, let's do that. Right. And then they're talking to the doctor and all this. And because of how busy they were, they're like, okay, tell him we could still come in tomorrow morning, but he can actually take his dog home. I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, that's great. They're like, yeah, one, it'll save you a couple $1,000s. Two, right. Two, if you're willing to do that, we're okay with it. I'm like, dude, that's fine. That's great. So brought her in, they put her down. CAT scan didn't show much. which was good because that means there's no giant mass or giant cancer in there because she's half husky. It's normal for huskies to get that in the nasal cavity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they went in there with the scope. There was some irritations. There was some issues with blood clotting here or there, and it looked like there was some abrasions or some type of infection. So they did the scrapes, took the biopsies, removed everything that wasn't supposed to be in there. The small little masses that weren't supposed to be there. Sent it out. Sent her home. She was drugged up like crazy. Did you see I posted a little thing of her?
Yeah, I seen.
Yeah, so I posted that of her like half falling asleep and shit.
Yeah.
And she did the little doggy thing like.
Yeah, she's just laying there, dude. She looks so peaceful.
Yeah, bobbing for apples, bobbing for motherfucking apples. So she was out cold. She's out cold now. She's still not eating though. So she hasn't eaten all day yesterday and hasn't eaten today.
It's probably uncomfortable though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I already called the vet and they're like, no, if by tomorrow she's not eating, bring her back. But she's probably just having an issue with the anesthesia. I'm like, got it. I'm like, but she's not even eating her medicine. They're like, well, if she's not doing her medicine, eventually by the night, you just got to open her mouth and shove it down her throat. I'm like, yeah, you do that to your dog.
Yeah, you try. Yeah.
But you get it. But at least she's doing better. Worst case fears are out. The giant cancer, the mass.
Yeah, all the bad shit you don't got to worry about, right? So like the cancer and stuff like that, you don't got to worry about, but you're still trying to figure out why it was bleeding.
Yeah, right? and that's what they're saying. Like, the worst case scenarios are out, which is a no news is good news situation. But we still got to figure out what it is. I mean, there are some blood clotting, there are some burst stuff, there is little masses in there that we removed, but it looks like an infection. We don't know if it's bacterial or viral, so we'll figure it out. But one of them alone is not enough to do the bleeding that she had. So we still don't really understand. But at least your worst cases are out of the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy about that. It was crazy, and I'll tell you this: the worst part about it. Other than her, right? Other than her, because I was absolutely miserable. Like the first day when I was in there, I'm freaking out. And they're like, yeah, your dog's fine. She's not freaking out at all. We're freaking out. She's not.
Yeah.
Second day, she was freaking out. Like she was doing the scared, the shaking. Like she knew something was wrong the second day.
Yeah.
But that first day, don't forget, I had just walked her a block, right? And this was, how early my mornings start. So I had just walked her a block. I had bathed her. I'm still in my workout gear and she started bleeding. So I went there. I didn't get home till probably after 2 o'clock. And how early I start my mornings. That's how long I was in this place. Problem is, do you remember what I wear in my workout?
Oh, your fucking your Eskimo suit, right?
Yes. So I was in full Eskimo gear, multiple layers, multiple socks.
In a vet's office.
In a vet's office. And no one realizes this because it's not like I strip in front of people, but I have 8 layers on under my hoodie because I do like sauna vests and sweat vests. And I have I have a little hot suit, it's called, that I wear. That I wear for sweating. Not only is it great for sweating and like getting toned, but it also keeps you warm in winter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I come back, I'm dehydrated. I didn't eat or drink, and I feel like I'm ready to fucking pass out because I just spent 7 fucking hours in some I probably shouldn't have been in more than an hour.
In a fucking Eskimo suit. Man, what a couple days for you, bro.
Right? But at least Bella's okay. Everybody loves her. She's like the best dog. Everybody can't get enough of her.
How old is Bella?
She's 11 now.
Man, old puppy, man.
Yeah, old puppy. She still looks like a puppy. I mean, you guys go online, take a look at her pictures. She looks like a fucking puppy.
Man, old puppy, man. Yeah, for everybody that doesn't really understand, without Bella, there's no show. So
you've heard her, you've seen her, like she's over there laying down. But
yeah, I was just gonna say she makes it very clear when she needs to that this is her show, okay, and she matters the fucking most. So,
exactly.
I'm glad. I'm sure me and everybody listening is fucking ecstatic that there's no cancer, no nothing like that.
Right.
But that's scarier than a motherfucker, man.
Right. And don't forget, like, right during COVID in October of 2020, like right before she turned 7, she actually had a mass in her stomach, and she had to get a 7-inch mass from her stomach removed with half her stomach. So it's not like this would have been the first rodeo for me.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, we're glad we're good. And then real quick little side story. This is a little bit funnier. I'll probably get PETA called on me though. So one, because that clinic you were saying.
You peed on a cat?
No, Joe, that's you, but no. So that place you were talking about, Belmont? It's called like VetMed or
MedVet.
Yeah. So one day, me and Angela during COVID, right, we're sitting there and we're watching a movie.
Did you bring a kid that came to hang out with Santino because he was dressed like a cat?
No, sir. Santino wasn't born yet.
Okay.
Dude, Santino
but I really want to do that
yet.
one day.
Just show up with a fucking furry at the fucking vet.
Yo, if you identify as a cat, I'm going to treat you like a fucking cat.
They're not allowed to do that shit no more. We're going to get to that too,
We're
dude.
going to get to that.
We're going to get to that, dude. My boy's changing shit. So one day, dude, real quick, fucking me and Angela are watching a movie during COVID, and Frankie comes walking out of the bedroom right now. You know my dog's a prick, dude. My dog
I thought you were talking about Perugini for a second.
No.
Like, what's he doing in your bedroom?
So my dog, Francis, dude, Francis walks out, and he's like doing one of these things, dude. He's like,
dibble-dabble.
I'm like, what are you doing, Frank? You good? And he tries to walk across the kitchen, across the living room, and then just turns over. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I go check on him. He's good, right? And he's got like this shit grin on his fucking face while he's laying down. And Angela's freaking out. The dog can't walk nowhere. Every time he walks, he goes, and then fucking falls over. So I go in my room. The fucker ate a bunch of moon rocks, bro.
Oh, my God.
He got in my weed stash and grabbed moon rocks and ate moon rocks. So I'm dying laughing, right? Now I know he's stoned. I'm like, dude, I'm dying laughing. Angela's like freaking the fuck out. So she goes to that place, right?
Mm-hmm.
She goes to that place. That place tells her like $1,200. They're like, we'll pump his stomach. And she calls me and I'm like, what do you mean $1,200? We're not fucking pumping his stomach. It's marijuana. Go somewhere else. She's like, babe, our dog's going to die. Our dog's going to die. I'm like, no, he's not. Take him somewhere else. She takes him to that place in Greektown that I was I forgot the name of it. It's right in Greektown. The dog gets in there and the nurse, the vet tech immediately just started laughing. She's like, your dog's high, isn't it? And Frankie's just laying on the bed, got his tongue out. He's smiling. She's like, I'm going to give him some milk and some water and then he'll be fine. Right. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, and you know, you almost fucking paid $1,200 fucking dollars to pump this guy's stomach. And you just got Frank on the fucking, because you know, Frank's like my boy. I don't treat him like a dog, dude. Frank's like my buddy.
Frank's your buddy. Bella's my daughter. We treat him different.
Dude, Frank's my fucking boy. So I'm sitting there and Frank's on the fucking vet table. He's got his tongue out and he's all like with the shit eating grin laying down. And I'm like, dude, this fucking dog. But now he will not. If I light a joint,
won't be near you.
By me, he runs. He doesn't like to be around marijuana at all no more, dude.
So I knew this like fat fucking Frenchie, right? That I was hanging out and we were all hanging out and all of a sudden he walks out of a room and he starts walking into walls. And we're like, what the fuck is wrong with him? And the Frenchie's owner is like, dude, he's just stupid. It's okay. I'm like, no, dude, something's wrong with him. He keeps walking.
Something's wrong with that dog.
Right. Like, he just keeps walking into a wall. I'm like, I know he's stupid, but he's not that fucking stupid. Like, you know, like in the movie where they just keep walking into it. And he's so then he kind of walks a couple feet, lays on the tile, and he's looking at us. And just like you said, the tongue comes out of the mouth and he's looking at us. And then you start smelling it. You're like, what the fuck? The dog laid out like spread legs, spread eagled, and just laid there peeing on himself with his tongue out. Didn't even get up to pee, laid out. We're like, what the fuck? And we're looking around trying to figure out what's wrong, thinking he had points. Yeah, exactly. With the tongue out of his mouth, fat fucking Frenchie peeing on himself. So we're looking around trying to figure out what happened. He broke into 3 solid plastic containers of Wana. And ate 3 Wana containers. Like, you know the plastic ones that are like that? Like,
yeah.
Literally chewed through them until they were open, eating the Wana containers.
No fucking way, dude.
Dude must have been hungry. Like, you had to be fucking hungry to do that.
Had to be. That's what I said about Frankie, dude. I'm not going to lie. This is probably shitty to say on air. My dog is like literally a disposal. One day, me and Angela caught him trying to eat a light bulb.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, what are you doing, Frank? That's glass. Right. I take it away, and he's like, I want it. What the fuck are you doing, you fucking Nimrod?
I'm trying to get her to eat her pills. I got it in butter. I got it in peanut butter. I got it in fucking cheese. Everything she loves to eat. In bread. No, she won't eat anything yet. You know, she's still on that anesthesia.
That anesthesia is going to stop it, bro. She's not going to. She'll eat.
When she's ready. Yeah.
Right now, she's probably low-key enjoying the high. You know what I'm saying? Right now, she's just fucking coasting. She's like...
Exactly. She's riding high.
Yeah, dude.
Riding high and flying low.
But like I said, sorry, you guys,
No
I'm
worries.
getting stoned. I didn't have time to get stoned before the episode today, so I'm doing it mostly during. Um, um, it's good to, I know even Tink, dude. When Tink heard that something was wrong with
Yeah.
Bella, she told Angela, and this is the God's honest truth. Last night, she was like, we were talking about it because why we weren't filming,
Yeah.
and Tressla's like, listen, I think Bella might be the only mammal that Joey actually gives a fuck about. Like this, and this is exactly what she said. She said it with a serious face. She was like, Angela, I don't think you understand. And Angela's like, well, no, I've known Bella for a long time because Angela lived under you for a while, right? So I'm sitting there and we're trying to explain to her, like, listen, Joey doesn't like anybody, but he loves Bella, and then it all kind of started making sense. So, I'm so glad to hear that she's okay. Sorry, I'm coughing like crazy.
No worries.
I'm glad to hear that she's doing okay, and hopefully, she starts taking the meds today because that'll start bringing her back to 100%.
Yeah, and most of them are like, and it's funny because they're like the anti-clotting, they're the blood clotting meds.
Yeah, it's just so that they don't want the blood, dude. That's it. Once they know that the blood's not there no more, they're going to be good, right? Yeah. They just want to make sure that even after everything they've done, she's not going to sneeze out a pool of blood again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if she does, it's like whatever. Like, I mean, I got blood on my blankets, blood on this from her coming back because there was still a little residual blood. But I'm like, there's no point to like switch it out or clean it. Let it bleed it up for the next couple of days.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you gotta make sure that but she'll be fine, dude. She'll be fine. For everybody listening, let's make sure we keep Bella in our thoughts and our prayers, dude. At all times. Joey, like we said, Joey doesn't have any kids. But that right there is the closest thing as of right now that we will get to a kid for Joseph Phelan. So
as my brother likes to say, they haven't found me yet.
Yeah, he doesn't have any kids that found him, but Bella found him. So this is the only one that he claims as of right now. But yeah, so Joe, we've taken some time off here, right? And during this time, obviously, always building, always paying attention. So
yeah, you gave me too much time off. You see me on X?
Oh my God!
Am I going nuts or what?
Going absolutely crazy, and people are loving it.
Yeah, and people are loving it, and I'm going nuts on everybody. I don't care.
Yeah, this isn't no one-sided thing. He's been going in and definitely speaking his mind. But that's what we want to do. And now you're starting to see more and more people, like we always talk about, are grasping onto it. So fuck them if they can't take a joke, right?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It was actually funny. You know what happened was 2 days ago, I believe it was. Somebody from University of Champaign-Urbana ended up on our website for F'nAround.
Yeah.
And they showed us the link came right from Twitter. And then within a couple hours, we had a couple hundred people through the campus looking at F'nAround because of the fact that they kept sharing it on the campus, on their city hall. Like people started sharing the shit.
Man, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Great come up, dude.
People are starting to move around and get into it. I mean, we're all over. Did you know Russia's listening to us now? Not just website. I think Putin's been listening. I mean, you go. It had to be. I mean,
no,
not just the website. Spotify now recognizes Russia listens to us. Yeah.
Hey, Vlad, listen. I don't care what nobody in this country says. I'd love to have you on the show.
You look great on a horse, my man.
I'd love to have him on the show.
I mean, if you want, we can make this wireless and we'll ride horses next to you. You'll have a full-on conversation.
Oh, my God, dude.
Wouldn't that be amazing? I'll wear a wig. I will wear a Fabio. I'll wear a Fabio wig for it.
Can I get a sword? You know one of the ones that they hold up? What is it called? A cutlass or something like that, right?
And I'll wear a Fabio wig.
Ooh, and then we'll have Vlad wear a Luigi hat.
Exactly. It'll be a whole wonderful show.
Quick little sidebar. Has there been any updates that we've caught on that, or did they just automatically stop talking about it again?
They're kind of sidetracking it because of the fact that they're everybody's talking now. Oh, because he's in office now, we can make something happen, and you know what I mean.
Oh,
everything's starting to slow the fuck down. But it is actually funny now. You know what's interesting? because we're, you know how they always talk about media suppression or what's going on. And honestly, we're all free on our side with it. But it's really interesting. Like on TikTok, there's this thing going on where people around the world now are showing you videos of them protesting for America, but we're not seeing it. Have you gone into that yet?
So what I'm gathering, I haven't seen it, but what I'm gathering, what you're saying is that they are not holding back anymore about the support that we have around the globe.
Oh, no. They are protesting around the world against our new leader.
Against President Trump?
Yeah, there's it's not a lot of it, but there's a lot of different cities where they actually held protests to stand in unison with the Americans they feel are suppressed, and they're it's not a big thing, but it's just that it's a lot of students and younger people basically saying that what he's doing and starting is aligned to how Germany started.
Oh, come on, people.
I'm not. I just wanted to throw it out there so you said it, because remember, we talk all sides and all opinions, right? So we're never not going to talk about it and not going to hide, and we're never going to hide it or sandbag it. But can you believe that shit? And now they're talking about Guantanamo Bay as a concentration camp, an internment camp.
Oh, well, then if that's the case, then Obama was also Hitler, right?
Said the same fucking thing. Didn't Obama get rid of like 12 million people?
Obama fucking, that place was like the Ritz for that fucking guy. He was sending people there left and right.
Yeah, somebody was on there talking about it and talking about the concentration camps and making it a concentration camp. And I'm like, hey, don't worry. If he gets Guantanamo Bay back up, the only difference between us and the previous party is we're not going to charge him for the fucking sandwiches. And I did the cock meat sandwich from Harold and Kumar meme.
You dirty dog.
Because that's the biggest difference, right?
Yeah, no, listen, man, how the fuck are people this fucking blind, right? So why would you not think, right, that before you want to bring Guantanamo Bay into the situation, right? I'm not even that big, like, into the, I've picked up more recently on politics, right? But when Obama was in office, I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't pay attention to that.
So I will say real quick before you go, one of the biggest things that are probably pissing people off more this time, it's not Trump tweeting, it's his son. Have you read it? Do you follow his son?
Oh, yeah, dude. His son also is launching another meme coin, dude.
Yeah,
they need to stop.
His son, like, don't get me wrong, I got no issue with him, but when he was, instead of talking about we're opening Guantanamo Bay, you know, we need the room, we're trying to do this, you know, trying to keep America safer type stuff, and we're using it, because honestly, if you think about the transportation and the location, it's a great setup to be able to distribute people back, right? You're closer to home, you can easily do it. You don't have to deal with people at the airports or the military. Honestly, as long as you allow full transparency to the fucking press and media while you do it to show you're not treating them like fucking animals, I think it's okay. I think that's how it has to be done. But
it's not bad.
His response was, hey, what do you say we open Alcatraz next?
Yeah, see, like this is the shit that we were talking about though. Like, right, if I was Trump and that was Santino, right? I'm going to grab his phone. I'm going to take it away from him like a kid.
Right. And as
I'm
we told you,
like, come on, man.
Right. See, as we said, we don't care what side it is. We are very transparent. We do like Trump. But if they overstep, we'll fucking call it out. So my response to him, honestly, was, hey, I love where your fucking head's at, but the cost outweighs the benefits to use that because it's a little out of date and no one's used it. Stick to Guantanamo.
Now, see, but now here's where I will go side with the people that are saying the concentration camp shit. Because when you're talking about opening up condemned buildings, historical landmarks and shit like that, just so you can throw some people in, right? Yes. Now it looks like you're building concentration camps. It looks like you're starting to do that.
Exactly. And I completely agree with you. And that's why I was like, no, that doesn't go. Like the amount of cost it's going to make to do that too is over the top. So to throw them in as is, that's a concentration camp. To build it out to do the cost, what was the fucking point of and using it as a point anyway? The point is to use it as a temporary station, right? Before transportation out. And
it's only to help you logistically. That's correct. It.
And as I said, the only way I think it works where it's not going to be viewed as an internment concentration camp is full transparency to the press and fucking media. If you
full transparency.
Full transparency. If you do not do that, even for a fucking day,
it's the Holocaust all over again. In people's eyes. And I mean, now listen, once again, I do not believe
it's a private gift room by Mayor Johnson.
Ooh. Hello. Message. Man, but you know, so I seen something about this last night too, not pertaining to the Guantanamo Bay stuff and that, right? I'm doing my crypto and stock stuff, right? And then I see Donald Trump Jr. or whatever the fuck, you know, he drops a post saying, you know, Donald Trump Jr. coins live now, right?
Oh, dude, you see him trying to sell gold? You know, fuck crypto. You guys should invest in gold. Here's my link.
I mean, see, this was the specific things that we were talking about, right? When Donald Trump got into office, right? There's not very many things that he can do right in people's eyes. Let's say that, right? Every move that he makes is going to be under a microscope, right? So now you got this fucking Chuchenheimer of a fucking kid who is acting like a little kid throwing a fucking, you know how like when you get them kids in football and shit when they're younger and they win and they're just over the top?
No. I'm not saying it's like that at all. I am saying it's the nepotism, the child of a celebrity thing. They can get away with anything on this one. Don't view it view it that way. Like, what's a good one? What's a celebrity that did their kid did something like, oh, fuck you, I'm this person's kid.
What's his name? The guy from, what's his name? Tom Hanks.
Yeah, there you go.
Tom Hanks' son.
I knew if I said the example, you could fucking. I think it's more like that. I think it's more like that, not the star quarterback. It's the I'm not the star quarterback. Daddy is, but
but you got to listen to me anyways. Type shit, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, and that's why I like Barron, dude. I'm serious. I'm a fan of Barron. I love Barron Trump. Dude, his fucking presence emanates power, bro.
Yeah.
He sits there, he's quiet, calculated. See, that was going to be the last thing, because then you throw in the fact that he's a fucking giant, right? This guy he radiates power. And then you got your asshole son, the other one.
I want to see Barron on an interview. Have you seen some of these cabinet pick interviews and with Congress and stuff? They're fucking killing.
I seen Hegeset's. Seen Hegeset's, but I didn't see anybody else.
They are fucking going after him crazy. Fucking, was it Warren was going all into everybody, going nuts about it, because you know about pharma and everything. It was so bad. Dems were even going after her because it looks like she was literally in the pocket she's in. Big pharma. So she was literally attacking him. I mean, I was laughing about it. It was horrible, but I had a great idea, and I even tweeted at Elon about it. He should make Grok on Twitter do a thing when they live stream it from now on, where it actually puts the fucking logos of who pays for them on their fucking jackets and does coming up from Pfizer and the state of so-and-so, we now have your senator questioning on behalf of, you know, how funny would that? Wouldn't that be
questioning on behalf of Pfizer?
Right. This question was obviously brought to you by Big Pharma.
Question lineup brought to you by Big Pharma.
Oh, yeah.
Man, dude. So you know, Warren is another one that makes it very obvious that there's pay to play. Right. She makes it very, 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 very obvious that a lot of people are giving her a lot of money to do things.
Yeah.
So you know, anything she does, once again, is under a microscope, and they don't have enough knowledge to, or they just don't care, right? Because just like Donald Trump Jr., he just doesn't give a fuck if people know the way he's acting. Yeah. And that's the problem. You have to care, dude. This is still, your father is in the biggest position of power in the world, right? Mm-hmm. You have to conduct yourself accordingly. If you start coming out with stuff,
do you not sound like a hypocrite? I mean, look what our parents told us as kids.
Yeah, but we learned, dude.
We learned after we fucked up, but you get what I mean? Like,
we learned, man.
Wasn't everyone from our neighborhood like, you know, you got to be nice, you represent your family, and then we all like ended up in a bathroom or a bed or a fucking garage or somewhere getting high off weed and hanging out?
Yeah, of course. But with that being said, though, dude,
we didn't have a stage of millions of people.
You know, right? You know that right now is make it or break it for the Republican Party, right? Right now is crunch time. You're not supposed to be running Ponzi schemes the minute your fucking father gets in office, dude. I mean, your dad ain't even been there a week.
Oh, I completely agree. I'm literally on there. James and I were talking about, I'm going after everybody. Like Durbin was on there yesterday talking about, I'm not going to approve Pam Bondi. And he gives this whole list of reasons. And one of them was the fact that she would not say that she would not agree with the president and keep it separate. And if the president needs something done, for as the attorney general, that she would look at it and wouldn't stay separate. I'm looking at him like, dude, how the fuck can you sit there as an Illinois person and tell us how it goes when our fucking state is so ingrained up fucking Pritzker's ass, the Supreme Court, the ARDC, every regulatory body that's supposed to be on its own bends their fucking knee to him and does what he wants. Clean up our own fucking house before you talk about the federal government.
Oh God, Jay, you need to start at home, right? Yeah. So
if our
first things first,
that should be a fucking rule. If your own fucking home isn't good, don't judge the fucking other.
Yeah,
That's one of those things I think that we should look at is how the fuck can we fucking sit there as a state and give massive input into the country when our state is a fucking mess?
Yeah, when your state's a shit show, you should have no dog in that fight.
They should start weighing the votes, not only based on the people like they do. You know what I mean? But they should weigh it based on how the state is. Because how the fuck can you come from a broken home and fix the fucking country?
I say it all the time, dude. You cannot take care of people you can't be in a position to help people like emotionally and shit like that unless you're at 100%. It starts with you, right?
Yeah.
So who am I to give relationship advice when I can't even get my own you know what I'm saying? Like that's the concept, right?
It's a virgin telling you how to fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, you've never had sex before, but how do I do this?
Yeah. Oh my God, like was it Nick Fuentes or something did this whole fucking thing? Went on this rant and rave about how he doesn't date women. He hasn't been on a date with women. But if you've been dating women for over 2 years, you're a fag. Literally, that's what he said. Because of the fact that you means you should have known within 9 months you were going to marry her. And if you're not going to marry, you're wasting your time or you're in a sexless thing. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, dude, just come out and say you've never been laid. Like, what the fuck?
Damn, I was a raging homosexual then because me and Angela dated for almost 11 years before we got married.
Exactly. How like coming out and calling everyone gay and shit because of the fact that they're not married. Right? Like, fuck that, man. Like, but this is how people are stalking it. And the other problem I'm having is we just went from one extreme to the other, right? I like what's going on and what's happening. But the problem is the other side's now taking the extreme side, like the extreme Christianity and all this. And they got to realize, if you go from the far extreme to the other far extreme, we're not going to fucking do anything. You got to find the fucking middle.
But we knew, we knew personally, right? We've talked about this. I don't know how much we've mentioned it on air, right? But we knew that when Trump got in office, when he won, that this next 4 years was going to turn into like a pissing match the entire time, right? Who could be crazier? Yeah. And that's the exact direction, people, that we do not want to go. Just so you know, like
you don't
that's
prove
literally
you don't prove the other side fucking right. You don't prove what it is. Just be fucking moderate. Be in the middle. Like, I mean, figure the fuck out. Like, you don't have to go to the same opposite extreme. I mean, the left went way too far to the extreme they went. But right now, what I'm seeing already in the first couple of weeks, the right's just going just as far. I mean,
that's exactly what's happening, dude. It's exactly what's happening.
It's why they're calling it out, talking about like catcalling or Nazis, all this, because you have this right side who feels like they're privileged and they can do whatever they want now, when in actuality, it's not supposed to go that far. The political side isn't going that far, but the people think they have this massive freedom to say and do what they want now.
Yeah, and that's where you're getting all these crazy misinterpretations. How do you say that word?
Misinterpretations?
Misinterpretations. Thank you. Sorry, I'm not the most intelligent son of a bitch, everybody. So that's how you get these misinterpretations of the stuff that he is trying to do, right? So we were going to get into this, and it's probably the perfect time now, too, because we'll probably run right into it. But, all of these things that he's doing, and we're going to start with the immigration stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I seen a press conference, and I don't want to say her name wrong because I haven't learned it that well, but I do really like the new press secretary.
Oh my God, she's amazing. Oh, but did you see her profile picture? She looks like Wednesday Addams in her outfit.
Oh, no way, dude.
Look at it. She's got the white collar with the all black.
What's her name, Joe? Do you know her name?
No, not offhand. I don't want to butcher it.
I don't want to say it wrong. I don't want to say it wrong.
I think she's like 27 years old, too. Caroline Levitt.
Okay, so Miss Levitt, right? Yeah. Ms. Levitt, whatever. I don't know how to say that shit either. So
honestly, I thought she did great. I love the fact she didn't do the binder.
Did you see the one about the immigration stuff?
Yeah, I was picking up a couple stuff on Twitter.
So somebody asks her, how do you feel? Basically, how do you feel about all these people? I forgot what it was about all these people getting taken back,
Or
right?
and I thought you said it was all going to be criminals, and she said as soon
Yes.
as you cross the border,
There you go, Joe. Yep.
you're a criminal.
If you cross the border illegally, you are a criminal.
And then
Okay?
all these people are attacking her, saying actually it's civil, not criminal. I'm like, wait, so the government's supposed to civilly sue you for crossing the line?
Very, very, very misinformed. Whoever said that. So it is definitely a criminal offense, right? It is without a doubt. It's probably it's. I wouldn't say that it's something that you deserve to be locked up for.
No, I agree with that. You don't deserve to be locked up for it.
You do deserve to be taken back to your country of origin.
Well, you deserve the chance to fill out the paperwork and come back here properly.
Well, that's from your country of origin, though.
Because here, like, I don't know how it's done recently, but I had over a decade ago, I remember friends or some people that actually were in the process of marrying people from another country, but they couldn't even marry them here and get them citizenship unless they went back home. So they had to start the paperwork here. They had to go back home to finish the paperwork properly just to marry and be here, because if they were married in here, they couldn't get the green card.
That is how that goes. So you need to go back to the country of origin and do your paperwork, which is why these 90-day fiance tells you it all.
Oh my
Just
God.
go watch the show. They tell you the process and they show it to you.
I told Tink before that she needs to start an app like this for the people. And I thought about it more, and I've kind of evolved in my head since, and I've tweeted about this, but I want your opinion. So, you know how you can adopt somebody and send money overseas? Why don't they create an app for everybody who wants somebody to stay? It's kind of like a dating app, but you have the chance to marry a migrant, give them a green card, and let them move in with you, and you support them for the rest of their life so they can stay here.
So it's an excellent concept, but isn't that also illegal?
100%. But if they want them to stay here and they don't care about the legality of them here, why would it bother them?
Oh, so okay, I get it. So instead of letting them flood over the border illegally, we might as well at least let them find somebody to marry here illegally and do it the right way.
Yes. And I mean, I am pretty sure that the Democratic Party would support that 100%. They'd all get involved, and every one of them that's single would marry one or have their kids do it because they support their rights so much.
I'm not going to lie to you. Usually I agree with you, but I disagree with you there. I think they're all a bunch of fucking hypocrites. I don't think any of their family fucking members, and I know you were probably being sarcastic than a son of a bitch there.
100%.
But, I don't see any of them taking anybody in. I mean, we remember Governor Abbott bust them son of a bitches right to Nancy Pelosi's house and said, listen, you guys want them here? You take them. And then remember, guys like LeBron James, right? That fucking piece of shit little bitch that he is, right? That motherfucker sat there and got
Let's
pissed.
be very honest, people. If he was ever face to face with LeBron, he'd be looking up at him.
I would still call him a bitch. He probably beat my ass too, but I'll still call him a bitch.
James, he wouldn't even hear you from up there.
Hello, you're a bitch, huh?
You say something, little man?
What'd you say, midget? Fucking step on me, right? But when that was happening to LeBron and they were busing all them migrants over to LA, dude, he was complaining. He was like, I don't want this in my neighborhood. Oh, but it's okay. It could be in my neighborhood, though.
Right, exactly.
So it could be over on Taylor Street where we just recently this past year found a fucking head.
Yeah.
And mind you, we're from a neighborhood, right? We're from a neighborhood where when we weren't before our time, the mob was very big in our area, right? Mm-hmm. Now, granted, that has since changed in the coming years, right? The mob isn't what it used to be when we weren't around, right? When our parents were kids, right? But I can't remember. I've heard some crazy stories from Papa, right? My grandfather's told me some pretty crazy stories. Mad Sam, the shooting at the club and shit like that when they were younger, right? But I am yet to hear a story about somebody's head being found in a box on Taylor Street from any of the older guys, right?
Did your dad ever tell you about the someone getting, was it your Aunt Mary that got robbed or someone got robbed?
My mom.
And they chased everybody down? and brought him in the garage. Yeah.
Yes. And then even, I'm not going to say the names of people on here, but one of them I can say because he's gone. Rest in peace, dude. One of these times, right? This is the type of stuff that goes on in our neighborhood. Not to get off topic, right? But one time somebody was fucking with my pops, and my pops is a little bit older, right? This is like he was like in his 50s at the time, right? Somebody was fucking with my dad and ran through that alley. You know that alley that is like right across from my grandpa's house?
Yeah.
You know what I'm from my grandpa's old spot? Ran through that alley, and my dad yelled down the alley, "Get that motherfucker!" Right? And
you know
how everybody hangs out there.
Your voice got his accent.
Yeah, he's like, "Get that motherfucker!" Right? So everybody hung out in the lot by Sheridan Park, right? Yeah. So you see Big John in the lot, like, what's Johnny talking about, right? And then they see this guy darting, the whole group of them, right? And you know who I'm talking about once I say Big John's all over there, right?
I know.
These motherfuckers caught this guy and twerked him in the fucking alley, right? So, we're in an area where our neighborhood took care of each other, and that's where stuff like that happened. But over this past year, they found a random head on our street, right? So we're supposed to have that type of stuff going on in our neighborhood, right?
But we can't do
motherfuckers,
it.
We can't fucking do
it. We can't fucking do it.
But you motherfuckers who are sitting in your fucking high horses.
We even talk about, like, dude, we'll fucking do this to you. We'll do this to you. You get calls out. We're going to call the fucking feds for you being affiliated. The fuck? Like, you can't even fucking threaten a guy anymore without a fed call.
But we've got all these immigrants going ape shit everywhere, right? And now what you're seeing is I mean, listen, I understand a parent's view, and I'm sorry that we went blurry, man.
You're just high. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm just
I was talking to the audience.
So you're seeing, and I do as a parent. My son's Spanish, right?
Right.
He's Mexican, Puerto Rican. So am I worried that somebody's just going to grab my son out of school? No. If you brought your kids and your family here illegally, should you be worried? I imagine so, and I know that that's scary, right? But
it's like being here's the best analogy. It's like being late on a car payment for so long your car's up for repo. You don't want it to be taken, but it could be taken at any moment, so you have that fear in your head. That's what it's the same idea as if you're bail jumping or running away on prison.
Yeah, that's the example I was just going to use, right? So,
but I wanted to take away the prison thing for like people who don't have issues.
No, 100%. Yeah, and when I would be on the run, because I've had quite a few warrants, right? Warrants was I've had the marshals come to my house to get me. I mean, all top to bottom, dude. You always worry about these things. You're always like, dude, I'm going to the gas station to get a pack of cigarettes. Am I going to get pulled over? And if I do, I'm definitely going, right? Mm-hmm. But that's what you're a criminal, dude. I'm sorry. I was doing the wrong things. I can't be mad that the law is meant to be there to put me away because I broke it.
And she's saying the right things and valid points when actual congressmen and congresswomen are sitting on Twitter talking about the fact I can't even pay attention to her without realizing the fact that she's 27 and her husband's like 60. It just doesn't sit right with me.
Is she you think we got a sugar baby or something?
I don't know. I'm not judging it. She could do it if she wanted. My response is always, hey, do you say the same thing to Sharon Madonna?
Ah!
Boom!
Hold on.
Quack, quack, motherfucker.
If it walks like a duck, it quack. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck.
Quack, quack. By the way, I will say while we're here, shout out to fucking Wakus. Like, he's been pushing our show, like, to everybody, telling everyone how good we are. And boom, boom.
Shit.
Yeah, Wakus did. Boom, boom reached out, telling me how great it was and how much he loved it. So shout out to you too, Will.
How's everybody doing, man? I'm not gonna lie to you. One kid I definitely miss seeing everyone, because I used to catch Willie every once in a while when he go to Carms.
He literally just called me. I think it was yesterday or the day before, telling me how much he loved the show, how good it is, and how Wake has turned him on to it and has been telling everyone how great this is. Like, they love this, they love the podcast, talking about how natural it is. They're having a blast.
Man, you know what I do miss, right? You know what I miss the most? Even though I was fucked up most of the time, because you remember that when I got out of prison the first time and moved to the neighborhood, right?
You love how he says the first time?
Yeah, there's been 3 of them. So when I moved to the neighborhood, I was really fucked up. And I admit that. I was a bad heroin addict. I was smoking crack, all types of shit, right? So, but I do miss, like, remember how we all used to, remember when they tore the church? Remember when they tore that lot, that building next to the church and turned it into that lot?
The Agape House.
Yeah, the Agape House, right? I miss when we all used to sit there and we would just get fucked up in the lot, right? And then you had the older guys like Willie and fucking and Flacco and Vito and Brian Barat, and top to bottom, they were all in the Sheridan Park lot.
Yeah.
So I was over there with like Angela and Jonna and Frankie and Nico and all these guys kicking it. And you had them down there, and we kind of just used to, rotate with each other and go back and forth and get fucked up. But you know what I seen when I moved back there, right? Because remember, I went away again, moved back. We didn't do that no more. It stopped happening. It seemed like, but obviously everybody gets older, man. I know Willie's got his own life, and I know is he still with what's her name?
I don't even want to try it. We're on air, and she might be listening with them.
Yeah. Yeah. I just missed my bad, Will. I fucked up. So
he's fucked up. Yeah. You're gonna have to toss him one. He's coming back. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I haven't been around these guys in a long time.
He's already smiling. He knows it's coming.
Dude, my bad. I haven't been around in a while. I'm over here, so I'm just trying to catch up. I fuck
probably best to catch up on that off air.
I keep forgetting, dude, because these are our what people have to understand is these are our phone conversations, you guys. This is what we legitimately talk about during our work calls, bro. But shout out to the guys for listening to our shit and pushing it, dude. We really appreciate you guys, man. It's all love, dude. It's always all love.
Whichever one of you is trafficking back to Russia, thank you.
Yeah. Whichever one's giving it to your mail order bride in Russia, we appreciate you.
Yep.
Let me find out that's Jalot. What if Jalot like one day just fucking's like, hey guys, this is Bratislava.
I don't know.
What the fuck? Where'd she come from, Mike? It's like, all right, bro.
I don't think he'd go that far. I mean, like,
well, no, maybe he really loves her, but like what we were just talking about, what if he uses the app you and Tink come up with to find Bratislava?
No, it's not going to be me and Tink. It's going to be Tink and Fonz.
Oh, Tink and Fonz. How the fuck's he doing? That's another name.
Oh, he's doing great, but that's not my cup of tea, and that's Fonz's cup of tea. That's his area. That's where he plays. No one would be better on figuring an app to like for big booty Latinas to be found than Fonz, because that's all it goes for. Yeah,
there you go.
You know what I mean? It's about It's about target marketing and audience. He knows who to target. He knows the audience. He's one of the audience. Let him pitch it.
Yeah. Yeah. So back to the fucking immigrants now, right? Now that we fucking went off, I dug myself a fucking hole and I got to explain myself a little bit to somebody.
Back to big booty Latinas.
Yeah, right. Back to these big booty Latinas that they're sending back home, right? If we can stop for a second as a people and we can start realizing that this isn't a situation where he's just trying to round up Spanish people and, illegal immigrants like.
Who said Spanish?
Well, I mean, let's be realistic. That's where most of this is coming from.
But also, let's be honest. Let's be honest here, too, because I don't know if you checked this out. It's not just South America. It's not just Latino. It's any country.
Well, no, isn't there a lot of, aren't they finding a lot of Middle Eastern?
Yeah,
people,
Middle Eastern.
Right?
That's what I was getting at. It's not just South America. It's anybody. It's any country that is here illegally.
You just reminded me of something too. Thank you, because now I'm going to save my ass, and I'm not going to look so fucking. I'm not going to look like I'm picking on nobody. So they just found some Jewish. What do they call their people? What do they call their priest? Rabbi, right? They found some Jewish rabbi during these raids in New York, right? And guess what, Joe? This guy's wanted by Interpol and everything. Because of sex trafficking, child molestation, and all this other stuff, right?
Wait, I thought you said Jewish, not Catholic.
No, they haven't got the Pope yet.
Oh, damn.
Not yet. They just got Rabbi Ishlum or whatever the fuck his name was. Whatever the fuck the guy's name is.
By the way, did you know the Pope has a Twitter?
Oh, does he?
Oh, yeah.
You won't.
I have.
Oh, I have. I've done it.
I've done it. He literally sat there attacking the media, asking for transparency and to stop hiding stuff. And I told him to stop hiding about their sex trafficking with little kids in the past.
Yeah, right. You listen. That's a fight he should have just stayed the fuck
out of it.
Listen.
I'm like, what are you gonna do? Excommunicate me? You're gonna come at me like a Galileo? Yeah,
listen,
I'm not a little kid, buddy.
Here's a guy that realistically, right? Let's look at this, right? Here's a guy that realistically can sit there, and I'm not condoning it, but he can continue to do whatever he's doing and keep his mouth shut, and nobody can touch him.
Right. And it's like the richest business in the world.
The richest. It's the oldest, for one. It's one of the oldest.
Richest, biggest landowning across the world.
And listen, if you've been in business that long, you gotta know what you're doing, because I'm telling you that the fucking, keep your fucking mouth shut and stay out of the fight, because now you got Joey going, and now I'm telling you, he reminded himself.
But when I first responded, I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome. That's a parody account. Like, I can't believe someone parodied the Pope. And I looked, I was like, oh fuck, I just actually replied to the Pope.
Anyway, one thing obviously this is something you guys pay attention to, because I know your family's Catholic and stuff, right? So, how is the Pope?
I don't know.
This year, or this Pope? How is this Pope? Is this one that we have promise in? Because
unless it's a wedding or a funeral, I don't do that shit anymore.
Oh, that shit's been done for you, huh? So like me, right?
Well, no, I had heat stroke in church when I was younger. Like, I was in church and it was way too hot. I fell forward. I cracked my head on the front pew, cracked my head in the back pew, woke up in the ambulance with a concussion because I passed out from heat stroke. I was like, yeah, this shit's not for me anymore.
Damn.
Yeah, so now every time I walk into a church, I start breaking sweat and getting nervous, like a muscle memory of I'm going to pass the fuck out again.
I've been at that same position. Now, I didn't pass out in the church, but
is it court for you?
No, court.
Yeah, every time you walk in court, you get nervous.
To be honest with you, I can't tell you very many times where I've actually walked into court willingly.
Oh, so got it.
Usually it's to the point where I'm coming from the back and
you're dragged in with the cuffs,
and it's like y'all. Whatever you guys are going to do, I can't do shit about it.
I'm fucking here.
Yeah, usually I'm coming in from jail. To be honest with you, I've never actually went to a court date from outside, which is hence why when I catch cases, I go for my bond, and the judge is just like, yeah, this ain't happening.
Yeah.
Bond. It's like,
we have ranted and raved so much, we missed like half the topics we're going to touch today. So,
but you know what's good, people? Joey and me are going to be running back another quick one back to back today, guys.
So, yeah, we're just going to go through and jump another one after this. We'll drop them both today, so don't you worry. But you're going to hear them both because we're going to get into all this Tubbs X. But for today's spotlight, I know you were going to throw one out, but I say we just spotlight out the neighborhood and the guys for showing us some love and pushing it out there.
Yeah, dude, definitely appreciate it. And sorry for, and once again, Will, I'm sorry for even fucking mentioning that part. My bad. I just haven't seen you in a while. I don't know what's going on with you, dude. So we're just going to apologize for that on air. James forgot that he was on air, my boy.
Yeah, no way. But we still got like another minute that we want to just show the love to the neighborhood and our family.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah. Dude, we really, really do, because these are guys that if it sucked,
yeah.
Willie would have been like, yo, Joe, listen.
You suck.
Stop making yourself look stupid, please, my boy.
Oh, he would have said it 100%. Yeah. But I still say we got to do a family dinner episode and get everybody around the pew. And we'll we're going to do a giant slab on the pool table, throw it on the pool table, pull the pews up, and all sit down and do a family meal, Taylor Street style.
You know what Smoke just mentioned too the other day, dude? And he mentioned the whole team. Smoke was like, yo, JJ, when you get back home, dude, why don't we start making it like a weekly thing? Because obviously I didn't get to tell you yet, but I'll tell you now. We made Smoke the director of production for Motivate the Trenches. So congratulations to my boy, dude.
Congratulations, Smoke.
My boy earned his spot, dude. He's been working his ass off. And yesterday he had mentioned, why don't we start doing that when you get back home, and let's find a spot and, all get together once a week and we all just kind of cook. Like, it's kind of like a little, like, what's that called? A potluck, right? Like a potluck type of concept, right? So, what I really like is to see the guys on the media side, like you, right? The guys from the media side who have nothing to do with music, because to be honest with you, you haven't even met Smoke yet.
No,
so
no idea who he is.
It's nice to see that you guys are both on each side, kind of on the same page with wanting to do something like that because I think it'd be really nice.
Oh yeah, and I think it'd be for us. I think it'd be hilarious, so we can videotape and put it. Like, I mean, think about where you can get all like the neighborhood guys. Like, you can get
Just
Will, you can get Eric,
just think about Frankie and all them, and you know, Frankie Fish in a room with everybody on film eating dinner, dude. I'm fucking telling you, you go to the room.
Exactly. And on that being said, thanks for effing around with us again. We're back, and effing around in the morning is the way it is. I'm your co-host Joe.
And JJ, everybody have a great day.
Thank you for effing around with us in the morning.
See you tomorrow morning.
All right, see you tomorrow morning.
Effing around, start the day. Rest and rage, we got something to say. Feel the beat, the energy rise. It's morning mayhem, no surprise. We're effing around, sun's up, it's true. Morning vibes just for you.
Sounds good.